Hey guys, hope you're all doing good. So now we are in the last phase of setting up this simulation. So before setting up the simulation, make sure that your add-ons are enabled. So you need to first make sure that SolidWorks add-ins is visible, right? So it should be visible in the top toolbar, and click on it and make sure that SolidWorks motion is selected. After doing this, click on motion study 1 and click on this upward pointing arrow and make sure that you change animation into motion analysis. So now what we are going to do is we are going to put a small motor to basically rotate the handle. So make sure that your axes are visible and click on motor, and we are going to basically select rotary motor. We are going to select the rotation axis and we are going to provide a RPM of 10 now, and it's going to rotate in the clockwise direction. So click on OK, and this has added the motor. Alright, so the next thing that we need to do is specify contacts. So we are going to select the screw and the nut, and we are going to say that these two parts are going to be in contact, and we provide materials, which is going to be steel in this case. And then we are going to look at the geometry from the front view, and we are going to set up gravity. So we need to make sure that the gravity is along the y direction. All right, and now if you click on calculate, you can see that our handle is actually rotating, and as it happens you can see that the moving jaw is slowly moving towards the right. Now this happens slowly because we are currently also doing the calculation and rendering at the same time, right? So we will let the calculation finish first, and then we will be able to play it more smoothly. So now what we're going to do is while the simulation runs, we are also going to set up some useful plots that can actually give us the information about the dynamics of the system. So in total we have simulated the system for about 5 seconds, and since the simulation is now complete, we will be able to play back the animation by clicking on play from start. Now you can see that the animation is much more smooth. You can understand how the different parts actually move. So now at this point we are ready to make some useful plots, as I mentioned. So we are going to click on graphs. This is going to open up a sub menu, and under subcategory select linear displacement and select magnitude. So now what we are going to do is we are going to select a particular component, and selecting the moving jaw makes a lot of sense, and then click on OK, and almost immediately you get a plot. Here you can see that the variation is almost linear with respect to time, which is kind of understandable because our rotor or motor is rotating at a fixed RPM, right? And since our thread is a fixed pitch thread, meaning the pitch is not varying, the displacement has to be linear, and this kind of checks out. With the plot window open, click on play from start to get a visual representation of where you are in the current simulation and what's the respective displacement. So now let's create another plot. This time we are going to be using something called as trace path to understand how a particular component moves. So click on results, and this time we are going to select displacement. Oops, I accidentally selected forces, so I'm just going to go back and select displacement, and we're going to select trace path, and we're going to select the component which we want to trace. So select this outer edge, and we will immediately see the path that particular edge takes, right? So in order to visualize this, let's look at the geometry from the front view, and when you play the animation you can see how the path trace works. This is pretty cool, right? So now you can see that the plot has actually disappeared. So click on this upward pointing arrow towards the right and select filter results. So this is just going to show the results that have been created. Now what you can do is just move this current plot to the left and expand the results section. You can see both the plots. So just right click and for example, if it's not visible, sometimes just click on hide plot and then right click again and click on show plot. So that basically toggles the plot, and now you can see that it appears. With that, I would like to conclude this video, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.